Yogg Token Druid is, like I said, a deck that's becoming more popular on the ladder right now. Some pro players that have been experimenting with it, playing around with it. It's a deck that's very, very popular in the Asia regions. The Asia regions love their Yogg decks, whether it be Yogg Temple Mage, Yogg Druid. A lot of sometimes they even put Yogg in Control Warrior, which is pretty interesting. They do run a lot of spells, but looks like we're jumping into game number 1. HoodieNinjaX.
Pair of those pixel glasses on.
Put the pixel glasses over your normal glasses. See if you can pick up some ramp here. Wild Growth would be great. But he picked a minion.
I'm really interested by the minion pick. You and I have talked a bit about this, and I'm kind of, when I say kind of, I mean almost always in favor of selecting spell.
Yeah. I am in favor of selecting minions only in very specific situations. Like you are about to lose the game, and you have one specific out, and that out is Black Knight off of Raven Idol. That is the only time. Or you have an Innervate in your hand, you literally lose the next turn, and your only out is Yogg-Saron, completely swinging the game. So you Raven Idol in hopes of being able to Innervate out of Yogg-Saron. Something like that. But right off the bat, something like an Innervate or a Wild Growth there would be so impactful in this game.
It's a really interesting spot here from Snievan, who's going to choose to go with Totem and Coin on the Tunnel Trog here. I think he was trying to roll maybe a Taunt Totem to make sure this Tunnel Trog is protected as long as possible. This will likely meet Wrath, I think.
Yeah.
Nope, it's going to meet Squirming Tentacle instead. We'll see how Snievan chooses to react to this one. The Totem is really interesting. Now that you see the thing from below, the Totem certainly makes a lot more sense, I think, than it did before. And you can see kind of his disregard for the Tunnel Trog being a big factor. Thinks that scaling into Thing from Below's his big tempo swing is going to be better. And moving into turn 4 here, a lot of times having that Tunnel Trog as a 1/1 will just occupy your opponent's resources. And so Hoodie has the Wrath and a hero power here to keep cleaning this up, but now suddenly that Thing from Below is at 4 mana. He's got Doomhammer and Feral Spirits behind. But Hoodie Ninja's hand is just big minion after big minion for the rest of this game.
Druid of the Claw into Dark Arakoa, into Druid of the Claw, into Cthulhu Ramp, into Twin Emps, Taunts for days. See if Snievan is going to be able to get through this. I mean, he might be eyeing this Hex, but ooh, maybe not.
Really interesting one to pick up. I think I'd still like to see Hex here. Keep that 7/5 fresh. But with that Tuskar Totemic in hand, you can see his plan is instead get stuff on board and start attacking. And honestly, the Healing Totem, it matters here, but not too much. I mean, normally Hoodie Ninja would have been able to just take this out another way, but is going to choose to utilize Big Game Hunter here instead. And I'm curious to see where this Raven Idol goes.
Minion. Nope.
Chosen spell this time. And Starfire looking pretty good on this board.
Yeah, I'd say so. What?
And he just saw a Big Game Hunter. This is perfect for Snievan.
Nobody in their right mind would put 2 Big Game Hunters in their deck. Yeah, I like seeing the Earth Elemental here. I mean, he might be thinking, well, if I Doomhammer this turn, then I can Earth Elemental next turn. And if I Earth Elemental this turn, I can't Doomhammer next turn. But you know what? And HoodieNinjaX is like, am I seeing things correctly? Are my pixel glasses getting in the way of what I'm seeing? Is that an Earth Elemental?
They're not getting in the way, and this is bad news for Hoodie Ninja. Earth Elemental is massive right now.
Yeah.
These are great trades here for Snievan as well. That Flame Tongue Totem doing work, and now 18 power sits on the board for him.
There's a Cthulhu. He could Innervate out of Cthulhu, but what's that really going to do?
Yeah, it's only 8/8. He'd have to get literally perfect rolls to take out the Earth Elemental.
Yeah. Or he could take out the Flame Tongue Totem and survive for maybe a turn. If he had literally 0 damage.
Wow, I mean, this is not what I expected to see from Snievan, but just back-to-back draws. And that's going to do it. Doomhammer just finishes the game. Connects with Earth Elemental twice. Wow, what a mid-game here for Snievan. I thought he might have been in a little bit of trouble here, but just back-to-back 7 power draws.
Yeah, really impressive stuff. And that early game, I was questioning some of the plays by Snievan, but, he was just trying to get strong stuff out there quickly. And he was realizing that his deck is heavily loaded. I thought it was, this is a little bit of an aggro shaman. Probably not the best way to start, trying to play it slow, but getting that totem up, getting that thing from below out early, really well played.
Yeah, I mean, that is clearly an insight to his starting plays, where he took it really slow and then had that secret paladin. And I've been seeing these builds with N'Zoth a lot in them recently. We're seeing if it can get it done here. It's not secretly Paul. It's secretly paladin.
Zing! Snievan gonna debate.
I think he's debating the Argent Protector keep.
Yeah, Argent Protector is a pretty good card. It's actually a fantastic card early on if you can get the board. But against Shaman, what are you going to have stick on the board? I mean, you could try and go for a 1-drop.
You can see him thinking it over. He's kind of reluctantly keeping this from his body language. And maybe going to pay a price here for it. So, going to drop Redemption to lead.
Yeah.
And Flame Juggler, a nice pickup, though.
Yeah. Huh. I'm usually almost always in favor of, if you have Totem Truck, Totem Golem with the coin, to coin out the Totem Golem first.
Ooh, nice juggle for Snievan. See him give a little fist pump here. And this Argent Protector is going to stick around. I think I like the Divine Shield second a little bit more.
Yeah. That way, you'd have this stick around.
No Flame Wreath Faceless available here for Hoodie either, so... Well, it's Totem, and this is looking like Consecrate may be the play here.
Yeah. Consecrate, and then you roll into Stampede Kodo, and if HoodieNinjaX plays a Flame Wreath Faceless, or sorry, yeah, Flame Wreath Faceless, just get Faceless manipulated.
Yeah, Doomhammer.
Yeah.
So good at playing cleanup here. And this is where the Paladin deck can struggle. It's now in the face of this Doomhammer. How does he really stick anything to the board? He doesn't have the option to just draw a lot of cards. That's a good draw. Does have that second Redemption in hand, though. That's a little bit hurtful. Honestly, I'm thinking the Kodo just might be good enough here.
Yeah.
Gain 4 life, not really up my alley.
Yeah, I don't know. At least HoodieNinjaX doesn't really have too many powerful plays here. He's just going to probably Argent Squire and totem up. He's going to have some really powerful plays rolling into the next couple turns with Thing from below. So we'll have to see, but I can imagine we're just going to see Mysterious Challenger slammed here.
Wow, even Secret Keeper on the 1 slot. That's a lot of secrets in this build.
Yeah.
Competitive Spirit, Repentance, and Noble Sacrifice, I believe.
Yeah.
There's a Lava Burst. Redemption available here. So Hoodie Ninja, going to think through this and go, how do I tackle this best? Yeah, attack face first is the right protocol. Make sure you get that Noble Sacrifice out of the way. Check for Redemption even though you know both of them are gone. Key here is not taking 6 damage. Whoa, even going to tank 6 damage.
The key here.
That Thing from below gets set to 1-1 here. That's a hefty price to pay for an Argent Protector's shield.
That was a mistake.
Valuing a Divine Shield over 6 extra life.
Doesn't kill the 1-1 here. But I think he realizes that that life pay was not the best. Also could have used Argent Horse Rider to check for that Repentance.
Yeah.
But still some nice trades. You know, I guess what does the life really mean versus Paladin? You know, they're not pressuring you super hard. You're not really under the gun that much. Now that he's got control of the board, how does he lose it?
So this time he valued the 1 health over the Divine Shield. Very interesting stuff going on here.
Man, this might be sort of the end of the run here for Snievan. In terms of this game, anyway. It's about to come to a screeching halt.
Totem up, Flame Wreath Faceless, and Thing from Below, or just double Flame Wreath Faceless.
I think taunting up is definitely on his mind right now.
Yeah.
So wants to Rock Biter here instead of using the totem.
Okay. Fair enough.
Just keep the board clean.
But Faceless Manipulator plus Aldor Peacekeeper might be able to do some stuff here.
Really looking for something big. That's not something. That's about the smallest one that's there right now. Important to play the Faceless before you play the Aldor Peacekeeper.
Indeed. So 6, 7, 8, 9 damage being represented on board. That's 11 with the Argent Horse Rider.
Full steam ahead. That 5-1 is really obnoxious for Snievan right now.
Yeah.
Playing his face steals 1 damage.
Consecration would be incredible here. I guess Aldor Peacekeeper is reasonable.
Keeper
Aldor,
rather.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Keeper Bold. I even almost said Aldor Peacekeeper after you corrected me. Oh my god.
It's been a long day here, casting.
So probably you want to gain or take away the most possible stats, and I think just sucking it up and trading that in, and then Keeper Voldemon onto the 7/7 is going to be the best way to go about this.
I mean, still has some powerful draws left. We did see Tyrion in the build.
Yeah.
Imagine there's a few others to go with it.
The Tuskarl Totemic is actually a fantastic draw because... Oh, and a Totem Golem!
Snievan just kind of goes, well, what can I do? Clean up the whole board. Leave yourself a 7 power. I mean, again, still not out of it, though. Tyrion is a beastly draw right now. N'Zoth, I'm not sure I've seen any death rattles this game, but I think a 5/7 is good enough.
No death rattles.
Well, that's going to pretty much spell it out for you now.
So, I don't think there's any reason to not play N'Zoth there.
Well, he wants to draw Tyrion and Tyrion only. So if he draws Tyrion and then rolls into N'Zoth, that's his thought. Because if I draw Tyrion, I'm going to win. And
that's literally the only draw in his entire deck that would mean that that's the right play.
I'm not justifying it. I'm explaining what I think he's thinking right now.
Yeah, I suppose.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lightning Bolt's going to mop it up.
Yeah.
Snievan stuck with a N'Zoth in his hand.
What can you do? What can you do? Needed Tyrion in those last 2 draws, couldn't find it. And now we're tied up all at 1-1. And Snievan not able to get a win with that Secret Paladin deck.
Kind of interesting. I mean, drawing both Redemptions early on, I think, definitely hurt him a lot. The Doomhammer cleaning up his board mattered a lot, but I think I would have liked to see him play a little bit more to the board. I mean, we saw him use the Hero Power and Redemption early on in the face of a Doomhammer. So when he draws that N'Zoth there, even though it's not getting any extra value, the 5/7 still fights for the board. And it's kind of incongruent with the way we had seen him play it, and I think I would have liked to see him take that instead.
Yeah. But now we're going to go ahead into game number 3. We're going to see Tempo Mage from Snievan versus a Zoo Warlock from HoodieNinjaX. Now, this matchup usually is Zoo favored, but modern Tempo Mages have had some help. They've had some cards, some inclusions that have made the matchup just a little bit better. Arcane Explosion I've seen in some of the top-level competitive Tempo Mage decks. Just having more access to spell power early on allows you to have more consistent early board clears. And if you clean the board, you're never going to lose it as a Tempo Mage.
Make hard to clean up this board for quite a while here. Mirror Image buying him some life. But usually you want to just hang on to that guy. Suffer the damage, look for a turn to swing it with that Mirror Image. So just going to start investing into those hero powers. This is going to allow Hoodie Ninja to build his board state. This Darkshire Councilman looks incredibly safe right now.
Yeah.
Buying or selling.
He's going to go with the Peddler here. Wants the value instead.
Sure. Value's okay. Now his board is a little bit more vulnerable to being cleared. That's the only thing.
This will be a good insight into how Snievan's thinking about this game.
I mean, I would kind of want to coin out the Water Elemental just to get something online here.
Yeah, the thing about it is he's seen Hoodie go 1-drop into Peddler Mortal Coil. And so the possibility of power overwhelming is pretty realistic right now.
Yeah.
And that's what he's thinking about is it worth risking it against power overwhelming? If he doesn't see it, he's going to be in good shape. If he does see it, it's going to be tough. He's going to continue the defensive play.
Yeah, I like getting value out of the hero power here. And we'll see now if HoodieNinjaX is going to throw the Darkshire Councilman. Have to imagine he would. And draws Defender of Argus. So starting to build up a board that's going to be tougher and tougher for Snievan to deal with.
Ooh, Flame Strike gets drawn.
Ooh.
Now we're looking at some real goodness here. He's going to Frostbolt, take care of the Councilman. And his game plan right now is stay at a reasonable life total, Flame Strike to get massive value, swing the board back afterwards. Now he's got to have time to do that. That's really the big issue here.
Yeah. Will he have the time? I mean, I think he got a Forgotten Torch here. And probably even just ping so you can Flame Strike next turn.
I think pinging a minion here is superior to face as well, even though you have the Flame Strike, because pinging a minion will kind of sell the idea that you don't have Flame Strike. And when you ping face here instead, it goes, none of this damage is valuable to me. And so Hoodie Ninja can look at this and go, do I need to play anything else?
Had the opportunity to play a Sea Giant there, which would have protected his board immensely against Flame Strike. But decided not to.
What's the value of an 8-4? 2 1-1s left behind. I think Snievan is going to end up falling out of this one. Frostbolt may buy him some time, but that's Leroy in Hoodie's hand. This is not really slowing down anytime soon either.
Yeah. HoodieNinjaX is a short distance away from just piecing together lethal of his own. And I would have liked to see the 2 1-1s being made. Because that way you still present lethal on board. You're all in to win next turn, and if he pings off one minion this turn, it means you don't have lethal anymore with Leroy Jenkins' Abusive Sergeant.
Ooh, this is kind of interesting now. So the fact that he didn't make the 1-1s means that he's going to be a little bit off lethal. If Snievan can shut down the board and hide behind Mirror Image, Leroy's not burst potential anymore. If he can keep those taunts out there. This is the debate. 4 damage now or 4 damage later. He's going to take it now. Mortal Coil. Sea Giant be damned. Still could hit the board here.
Yeah.
Why do you call?
Okay, well, all in now. It's up to Snievan. 1 draw he has. And Arcane Blast is not that draw. He can Arcane Blast the Dire Wolf. Forgotten Torch.
He wants to kill that Sea Giant. And I don't think this is going to end up being enough.
Yeah.
Says, well, I hope you don't have damage.
I mean, he's trying to set himself up to give him the best opportunity to win. but not going to be enough. HoodieNinjaX is going to take game 2, take a 2-1 lead in the series. Snievan just not able to get it done. Not enough early minions, I feel. Just got a handful of spells. Had the hero power like 3 times in that early game.
Maybe would have liked to see him take a risk with that water elemental early on. Again, he was fearing power overwhelming that turn. You could see that Hoodie didn't have it, but there's no way for Snievan to know that. Didn't take the risk and fell too far behind.
Yeah, so just 1 game away now. HoodieNinjaX is from securing his spot in the final to face off against Jay. Not to be confused with TJ. I'm not playing in the finals. Don't worry.
Not today, he's not.
Not today. Be playing in the finals at some point in my life.
You just never make a finals again. You just lose every game for the rest of your life. Like, why did I say that on that cast?
Cursed myself.
Run it back with this Tempo Mage. Going to be facing off against Druid. Did see this was Cthulhu Druid earlier, and a very heavy opening hand for Hoodie Ninja. Does have that Wrath for that Mana Worm and the welcome smaller costed card to be picked up, but this was typically a really rough matchup for the Cthulhu Druid.
Indeed. But the Temple Mage misses early on, and the Cthulhu Druid...
Yeah, I like the play. Go for it.
Good verb.
Now Snievan's taking these risks, and I think he realized last game, I should have played that Water Elemental. So now we have a chance to really take control of this game here. This Arcane Intellect is going to add some welcome spells to hand. This Flame Waker is going to get busy.
Yeah, and HoodieNinjaX is sort of resigned to just playing 1 minion a turn for a long time. And that's exactly what a Temple Mage wants. They want to be able to use their cheap spells to keep removing minions off the board. And yeah, I like this. And he's going to Arcane Missiles, and he's... Ooh.
Oh.
Now 3 of these have to hit. Wow. Okay. I mean, that was very likely that Cthulhu's Chosen was taken out. I don't think HoodieNinjaX would be that upset about it. He had 7 possible juggles, and only 3 of them had to hit.
Yeah, I'm not sure I really liked the commitment he made to it, though, because now he's left with a few spells. And doesn't... Well, picks up a 1-cost 1. So the Arcane Intellects do end up paying off here, potentially. Does need to still connect this Arcane Missile. And there it goes. And now backed by the Fireball, backed by that Kabbalist Tome. Hoodie is low on life.
Marvelous.
Wow, that's a draw he needed right away on turn 5. And this is where Snievan kind of looks at this board and goes, that's okay with me.
Yeah. I just like Ethereal Conjure here, try and pick up some burn, but I guess Water Elemental, similar here. He actually still has lethal presented if HoodieNinjaX doesn't taunt, and... Okay. Well, now he does need to pick up burn.
I was like, well, he's going to play this Twin Emperor for sure. Wow, look at the mana provided here by the Sorcerer's Apprentice. So very valuable. Cleaned up very nicely here, and with the Kabbalist Tome behind, and now starting to get some minion development going. I actually like the Cult Sorcerer here over the Forgotten Torch as well. It's frozen the minions. Now he's challenging it in so many different ways. This was way better for Snievan than to use the Forgotten Torch this turn.
Yeah. Now he might be able to cash in on the spell damage next turn.
Infinite Raven Idol value as we continue to Raven Idol into Raven Idols.
Keeps getting Raven Idol until he's out of mana.
Build that Yogg.
Alright, well, definitely, okay, as long as he's going to take out both, I would actually leave the Water Elemental up.
Yeah, I think the Water Elemental is the least valuable one right now. That Sorcerer's Apprentice is going to offer some real value with that Kabbalist Tome.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Hey!
Hey, come on, whoa, yeah, come on. You're not getting better than this. You pick up Arcane Blast, Arcane Missiles, those are free. I don't know about that one, man. That seemed like a great turn for Kabbalah's Tome. This is want to connect for 3 and clear the board instead. Maybe he's gotten some sort of read on Hoodie Ninja's hand, given that he struggled to deal with the board the entire time. Now he's nourishing. He could just die.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be it. We have Kabbalah's Tome looking for a fireball, 3 chances at it. Or Ethereal Conjurer for the Discover.
There it is.
Fireball. Snievan tying the series up. We're going to Game 5.
I can see.
All right. Well, fitting for our last game of the last match of the Open to go to game number 5. So here we go. Winner of the next game moves on to the finals. Guarantees himself at least $400 with the possibility of $500 for first place. It comes down to Paladin, Secret Paladin versus Cthulhu Druid.
Yeah, with a N'Zoth here too. So the big story here is going to be if Snievan can establish that early control, find those big valuable minions with Mysterious Challenger and Tyrion, and then if things go awry, to fall back on that N'Zoth. He's going to keep the Repentance in his opening hand and picks up a Secret Keeper to go with it. He's going with Redemption first. So doesn't want that Secret Keeper to be vulnerable. I think I would like to see him go just pass into Secret Keeper Redemption, but
Look at all that ramp.
it's a lot of stuff. He goes
Minion
for
again.
I think you take the Blood of the Ancient Ooze and go for the second one off the Raven Idol.
I'll never tell.
I mean, this is a lot of resources used.
Yeah, and Wrath take care. It's going to respawn as a 1/1. He could have just not had the Repentance down and then been able to play Repentance and Argent Protector this turn, so that extra power, we'll see if it costs him anything.
I mean, I suppose you just go ahead and Archer Protector this, try and let this Secret Keeper live for as long as possible since you did invest so much into it early on. I imagine that's going to be the play.
It's funny is that Keeper of the Grove is like the ultimate counter to the Repentance as well.
Keeper of the Grove's like, I already suck.
Got nerfed down to a 2/2 from a 2/4.
That should be his entry line.
He's going to hang on to it. So going for Minion here, I think he was trying to find a silence for Tyrion. I think that was quite literally his aim in this one.
Yeah.
None may steal our secrets.
So Repentance still available here for Snievan. We'll see if Hoodie Ninja wants to play this Keeper of the Grove. Well, just wanted to keep his coin instead. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Nourishing the mana.
Yeah.
And then Wild Growth. Wow. That's an okay amount of ramp. I mean, you'll be going into 8 mana next turn. That's not that big of a deal.
Can Dark Iroquois and have 2 mana left over.
Harvest Golem, that's a nice draw.
Yeah, but let's go wide.
Not on my watch.
Giddy up.
He draws him a serious challenger. He might be sitting in some good shape here.
Oh, the Repentance. That is so massive for Snievan right now.
And if he hits this Flame Juggler,
Look out.
can push all that damage to face and leave all of that on the board.
Oh,
and a Divine Favor.
Nelly.
Getting hot in here. Spectacular.
This game just got blown.
I don't know why
wide.
you're shaking your head, bud. That's 4 cards off that Divine Favor.
Yeah.
And a Aldor Peacekeeper to continue to trade well. A second Keeper of Oldemon. I think Snievan locked this game up.
Yeah, I don't know. HoodieNinjaX is going to have very good outcomes for the rest of this game. I mean, how much damage is this just staring at him right now? He can Keeper of Oldemon down this thing and push 7 damage. Tyrion draw for next turn.
This is so good for Snievan.
Yeah.
None may steal our
Keeper of Oldemon. Keep trading well. I'd even throw out this Aldor Peacekeeper. Loot Hoarder is a little bit more vulnerable to swipe, but not the biggest deal in the world.
I don't think it matters much right now.
This
Hoodie Ninja, this Cthulhu's got to go beastly, and that's the reason he held the Aldor Peacekeeper here was Cthulhu.
I think Twin Emperor Vector is much more impactful than Cthulhu. You could follow it up with Cthulhu, but with a Tyrion on the board, I don't know.
Yeah, I think this Tyrion's going to close this one out.
Maybe Eldor Peacekeeper plus Stampede Kodo is going to be better.
Is that lethal? It's not lethal, but it's pretty darn good.
It's too off. Okay. I would have kind of liked seeing the 2 damage minions and 1 3/4 trade in. It's a little bit awkward. You leave them at 3, but you leave a much more powerful board. And now if he plays Cthulhu, it has to clear literally everything.
You can't clear the Harvest Call. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, it looks like that's just going to be game. He can Druid of the Claw, and then he can't live.
Wow.
Dead
what
on
a
the board.
Fantastic man out for Snievan. That Repentance on the 5/7 was so big. Try to taunt up, try to do everything he can, but 2 points of damage, going to get squeezed through here. Even True Silver Champion, in case he didn't have enough. Snievan's moving on to the Grand Finals.
Indeed, he is. Guarantees himself $400. Has a chance to win $500 should he win the entire tournament. Snievan moves on. It's Snievan versus Jay in the finals. And of course, that finals will be broadcasted tomorrow live from the RTX stage. Tomorrow morning, it'll be casted by Kevin Monk Dong and Kerry Shawcross. So if you guys are at the event, make sure you check that out. But even though we're done with the RTX Open, we still have some more Hearthstone to go. We have the Open number 8 for the ONOG 2016 circuit coming up next, the top 4 for that. So I'm really looking forward to that one. We have